All right, ladies and gentlemen, so just a few days ago I did manage to end up getting every single bird holy relic in the entire game. So what I'm going to be doing is going to be doing a tier list on all of the holy relics in the game that are dropped from the bird, and then also the slime relics, because I've seen basically what they do. I don't have them on global yet, but I have tested out most of them. So some of them, obviously, some of them are just really bad, so I haven't even attempted using them. Like, I won't lie, I'm just gonna throw them in D tier. Like, for example, what's his name? Nunchuck Bond. It only works in Red Demon. Like, it literally only helps in Red Demon. But yeah, we're gonna be doing that, and then I also have Simon's on here. Just because, why not? I'm not gonna really include him in the deer relics once I eventually get all of those. But yeah, if you guys enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe. Also, if I miss one of them, let me know in the comments. I tried to overlook and try to get as many as I could, but I just couldn't. Also, there's no Halloween Goth, or is, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the pumpkin bomb one, but the Gothers just isn't in the files, so I have this for Gothers. So yeah, hit that like button, subscribe. On the way to 3,700 subs. We smashed it through 3,500. We're on to the way to 3,700 now. Doing a giveaway, one more day to enter. So yeah, let's hop right on in. So we have Aliones, which I believe is what it was. It decreases the hero's damage taken from enemies by 40%, which is good on paper. Like, it sounds like, oh, 40% less damage, but you have to take into consideration that Alione is an R unit, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tempted to try him with an HP defense set, because I made attack crit because I was using him for bird or gray demon, so very stupid. But HP defense set with the new Tarmiel Grays, and I'm genuinely curious how that would do, like, on a full stance team or something. I'm genuinely curious, but I have no anvils. But I think without, like, the cheesy Tarmiel Relic, because I think that just makes any unit good realistically, so I won't really include that on any of these relics. I think it's it's okay. It's an R unit one as well. Like, you can easily craft it. It's not hard to get the stones, the things. I'm probably gonna be doing a bird guide as well, because those do really well still, because there are new players every single day in the game. They're trying to learn how to beat the bird, so I'll probably have to do one of those eventually. But yeah, it's okay. And then we have Arthur's, which I remember I placed very low when it first dropped. But it applies an effect which decreases all enemy defense-related stats by 20% for one turn at the start of the ally's turn, and I believe it is a red debuff, so it procs the Sigurd passive if you bring him in PvP, and then with Assault Melee, you just, like, kind of pop off. And I believe it also works with Trader Melee in them as well. So very, very good. I thought it only procced one time and then it was gone. Like, that's just how it sounds to me. Like, they just cleanse it away, it's gone, bada bing bada boom, your relic is worthless. But it procs every single turn. No, I believe it just doesn't work in bird, because, you know, he cleansed it off. Like, it works basically anywhere unless they just cleanse the debuffs off. So very unlucky. But I think that this is a pretty good holy relic. The only downside is that Arthur himself is a very bad unit. So that's why I think it's a very good holy relic for clearing through tower faster, auto farming. I auto farm with King, Arthur, and Shin. I think it works fairly well. Then you just slap Death Person back or something, and I think it works pretty well. In PvP, basically unusable in my opinion, unless you run Stinky Avoid Food, then that's kind of cringe. Like, it works with, like, one or two teams just because it's kind of broken. So I don't know. Like, the Arthur is bad. If you get a full hand of Arthur cards, you lose. Like, even if you, like, get his ultimate, it doesn't hit that hard. Like, let's be real. Like, it's OG Arthur, bro. He ain't doing anything. And the only green Arthur, or only good Arthur, is green Arthur, and his passive don't work in PvP. So yeah, not that great. This is one I'm actually kind of interested in trying, but I don't have the new Bond leveled up. He's not essayed. That's one unit I would genuinely like to do. I've tried it with the blue Brawler Bond, and my god, this relic sucks on him. It works in Red Demon really well, I know, but that's basically it. But the Undead Brawler Bond increases the hero's damage dealt to enemies by 25%, and it is pretty bad. Like, he basically does no damage. Like, even with UR gear set, I guess it wasn't attack crit, because, you know, I don't know how else I could really test it, but yeah, he's not that great. and red demon he would probably do really well, but it's a very bad holy relic. Just increasing damage dealt, I don't think is very good. Because it's like, okay, if he does 30,000 damage and you increase it by 25%, 25% of 30,000 is, what was that, like 7.5k, I believe? Like, pretty bad, but yeah, I'd have to probably build like attack crit gear for him in PvP. But, alright, moving on to the next one. Also, let me know down below which relic do you guys want to see me showcase. I need to do this, I need to eventually do it, but they're so outdated at this point that it's like, does it even get views? I don't know, but I just need to go through it and just make an entire playlist of me just doing and using every relic for PvP. If it's a PvE one like Zarathos's, I'm sorry, I ain't doing that shit. Just craft it. Like, they're all free basically. Zarathos is just for Belmos. But Nunchuck Bond, where is it? If a critical strike occurs from the hero's attack on an enemy, the hero's attack is increased by 10%, limit of 5 times. Now, if anybody of you knows Nunchuck Bond, he doesn't crit. Like, maybe with the new Ludo, if you use Gringo third, you get that rank 3 X-Start, you get that Ludo out CCs everyone on the team, he might crit. Like, let's pull him up. I have Grand Crest open. Let's pull him up. He is human. He's not S8, unfortunately, so I have not been able to showcase him very well. Yeah, it's unlucky. But his crit chance is 41%. Yeah, nah, that ain't happening, bro. Sometimes Trader Melee don't even crit with Ludo out-CCing everyone. Like, no way. That is a horrible relic. F tier, D tier. No. Alright, we got Purgatory Bond. You never really see this guy. Like, he just doesn't do too much damage. He kind of gets one turn usually. I don't know. I don't really like the relic. It's not that great, like, realistically. So I guess I'll just put it up in S tier because he literally one-shots half the field if he uses the rank 2. I was being sarcastic, but I couldn't. Bond is just too good. Like, I don't think Bond is the problem realistically. I think it's the fact that they gave him so much goddamn support. Like, it's crazy, and he scales off HP. Like, imagine if Lilia, the blue Lilia, scaled off of HP. Like, the Catastrophe team would be absolutely mind-blowingly busted. Like, she would just, like, okay, I do 2 AoEs or, like, 2 debuff cards, and then I use my Lilia Dissolve or single target. I don't know how much damage it would do, but it would probably one-shot a lot of units. And then you could run, like, a backline unit to increase your HP as well. So, yeah, I don't like that Bond scales off max HP. I think, if anything, it should have been percentage HP, because then you can kind of, like, whittle him down with Merlin, you know, infect him a lot. That way he can't, like, fully heal. But since it's max HP, he's always at, like, max damage, basically, if he just moves, like, 2 cards, and he is just really strong. And he has Detonate, so it's like, well, shit. Also, I never actually explained what the Relic does. If enemy dies, he gets more HP. Because that's balanced. Basically, the reason they use this is that way he can be a backline unit, but even then, it's not even that great. Like, he basically has to get an ult first turn, otherwise he loses, but it can work. Yeah, it's a really good relic just because it's Bond, honestly. Next, we have Eason, the OG Eason. Increases the hero's attack by 10% of all enemies' attack in PvP. This one is pretty good, I won't lie. I actually have tested it out. I think it is really good on green Easton. I don't know blue Easton. I haven't tested it out. I think she is literally like SA2 in my box. Like, maybe she's SA4. I'm not too sure. Where is she? Did I SA6 her recently? I did. It must have been for Guild Wars. I might have to try that out. I have not, like, actively tried to use her in a while. I have seen some showcases where she's absolutely cracked. She gets like 1,000,000 damage AoE or something. In 4v4, this thing would be absolutely mind-blowingly broken. Like, I think we need 4v4 back. I think it's a pretty good relic. I don't know. I think she's pretty damn good. She does a lot of damage, you know. She has a really good card in general. Unless they have a full stance team, I think you probably one-turn any unit in the game besides like a Bond or something, you know, like something that scales off HP crazily. Yeah, like I saw my friend Godspeed use like a rank 2 and he did like 200k to Trader Melody turn 1, so an ungeared it's pretty cracked. Mono, the green mono. Now, when I first originally did this, I absolutely hated this relic, and this was before Blue Lilia, I believe. Before Blue Lilia, mono was essentially useless in my opinion. I did not like it. I believe that they were using the red lilia before, and it was working, but I didn't like it because I was using both of the lilias and the corrosion basically stacked, like, or then not stacked. There's only one debuff, so I was just like, why? What is the reason for this corrosion? But I guess they were planning out this new lilia coming out eventually, and that's what they did. Because lilia scales off a bunch of debuffs. Mono has a corrosion. I wish she had a debuff card. She just has a sever card, which is basically what you want to use for the first few turns. You never really want to use her single target card. I see that's what a lot of people struggle with. You have to let mono build up. Use her AoE as much as you can to pop the king shields, pop the goddess Liz shield, etc, etc. And then after like you have like 6 to 10 passive is when you want to start risking it and using the single targets. In geared PvP, HP crit, bro, she pops off. I need to do a video on her. I've been pushing it off for like 2 weeks now. But yeah, I think it's an S tier relic. It's really good. It makes catastrophes meta, in my opinion. Catastrophes are really, really good in the game. If you build up a full... Did my OBS just crash? Please no. Okay. If you build up a full catastrophe team, I think it's highly, highly worth it. So, yeah. Like, they're really good. They're really good. We need a third slot unit, in my opinion. I don't like Valenti. OG Valenti or MK2. Like, they're decent, but I just don't like them. We need a new one, like an Awakened unit, like an Awakened Shin. I don't think Awakened Mono is going to replace Mono, in my opinion, but you never know. Maybe it'll be like a Kyo. If we get a Kyo unit and it doesn't apply debuff or ignites, and it just applies like HP down or something, I don't really know what it would be. Just an example. It would be insane because then Lilia would be able to pop off turn 1 on the catastrophe team, and we could throw away Kyo, and then free-to-plays would be able to use the catastrophe team because it would be so much better and so much easier to use. But I assume she won't be good without her Holy Relic. That's what they're kind of doing with a lot of these units. Like Green Sario, he was pretty bad in my opinion up until he got his Relic. I've used him. I didn't really like him. I guess Tarmiel, the new one, doesn't need a Relic like what adds at all. It is really nice though because you have ult gauge control. Margaret isn't that great. I don't really like her Relic at all, but it helps. Red Sario though, his Relic is literally just Lilias. It's literally just Lilias, but you have to crit. So it's actually kind of better because he has a Sever card. It's actually kind of insane. So I would highly suggest that one for Deer, by the way. I'll have to do a video on that. I have to speed through this. Okay, base escudor, I believe it just increases attack off of defense. What was it exactly? Increases attack by a value equal to 50% of the hero's defense at the start of the battle. It's not amazing, but it's definitely pretty fun. Like, if you have a really good team, you have a really good escudor, even just attack defense, he has like 12,000 defense, so you're increasing your attack by like 6,000. He hits pretty hard. He never crits, sadly. I wish he did. But, yeah, it's alright. It's alright. The one escudor, this relic sucks, dude. It bypasses 30% defense. It ignores 30% defense when using skills in PvP, applies before skill activation. It's pretty bad. It just gives a buttload of CC. It works only in PvP as well, so keep that in mind. It's pretty bad. I hate it. People are saying, oh, we need to buff the one escudor, bro. No, we're just going to get a new farm of him. That's what's going to happen. We should not buff relics. Except for some of these down here. My god. Jillian's? Okay, where is it? The hero recovers 20% of their max HP at the start of the ally's turn if the hero takes damage. Wow. Shocker. D tier. It only works in Guild Boss. That's the only time you'll ever use Jillian, because she has to be on the field because it's 4v4. Otherwise, you're using her in like Final Boss, and that's literally it. And even now, I don't even think I would say that. Like, it's really, really bad. I would like a rework for some of these older units. I don't think Fest should even get relics. They already have insane CC. I don't think they need it. I think it's stupid. But, you know, you had the Power Blitz Purgatory Bond back into the meta for some reason. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it's just a bit too gimmicky. If they give them relics, they should be terrible in my opinion. But that's just me. Everybody else seems to disagree with me, and I'm like, okay, but Lilia, best relic in the game. But like, you go first with Kyo, Zelda's in back. Bond teams cry. They cry, bro. Unless you get an extra Kyo card. Then they probably will win. Because you can't do enough damage. They just full heal and it's like, well, shit. But honestly, I think a really good team is Lilia, Kyo, and Merlin. Lolly and Merlin. Because you can infect them. That's also an extra debuff. And if you run into Mascula, you kind of have 2 debuffs. Especially if you have Starlo Grace, then you have 3 because you can infect AoE with Lilia, which would apply a dissolve and an infect or a crit chance, crit damage down. And then you can single target and you would still have your entire max passive. I think that would be a really good team in my opinion. Alright, this is OG Lilia. I have not used this one in PvP. Where is it? The hero recovers 15% of diminished HP when a debuff is removed from the hero. That is garbage. When do you ever really get rank 2 heals? Like, you have to have a rank 2. If it was a rank 1 heal and it cleanses, that's what her relic should have been. Makes it so rank 1 of her HP, or just every time she uses a recovery skill, removes debuffs. That will be so good. Or something with Pierce to make Pierce units better. I don't know, but like this relic is completely hot garbage, useless, never get it. Marmoset now, basically whenever you start the turn, the game, you start with 5 ultimate orbs. It's pretty good. It's kind of gimmicky. It's not like, wow, I love this one, but it's good. But it's Marmoset, it's an R unit, it's unfortunate, but it's pretty fun to play around with. So, and it's a free one basically because it doesn't take the win source, the weekly reward ones. So if you guys enjoy just playing around a little bit of games, just give it a try. It's pretty fun. It works with like Lost Vein. It works pretty well because, you know, his ultimate decreases defense-related stats, and Lost Vein crits. He crit once. Best unit in the game. We have Twigo. Twigo is an A tier relic in my opinion. It increases HP, gets quite a bit of stats, and just kind of is really annoying if you have like a single target drain, you know, like, I guess if you have Kusek, I was going to say Kusek, but Kusek kind of obliterates Twigo. They have like Fast Gother, Tarmia, Diane, any of those single target drain cards, and you can just kind of sit back and kind of like protect yourself for like 1 or 2 turns. So that way you can try to get the Bond ult, which is basically all you want to do. Or you can have like Twigo and then the Suicide Fraudner / Liz to get your ultimate on your damage deal, which is usually like a King, a Traitor Melee. I've seen a Bond, I guess that could work, I guess, but the other 2 probably work better. Something like that. That's basically what Twigo's used for. It's pretty good. You know, you taunt for 2 turns, you increase your HP related stats by 30%, I think it was exactly. HP related stats by 30% and taunt damage at the start of battle. It's really good. And it's when he drops down. It's not like, yeah, when he drops down. When he enters the battle. Excalibur Arthurs. This is my least favorite relic to face in the entire game. I swear, he lives with 1 HP. This relic is secretly saying, I have Hellbrim passive and I can't die and I always full HP because haha screw you, get good L cringe ratio. That's basically what it's saying. It's S tier. It's so broken. I hate it so much. There could be a little biasy, but make this for Arthur. Okay, if you use Bond, make this one. He always lives, I swear. Basically, if you don't know what it is, by the way, every time he gets below 20% HP, he just full heals. And still has his taunt. That is so dumb. So dumb. Also, I just realized I never actually said what monos is. If you crit, you apply a corrosion stack. My bad. Awaken Easton. If the hero uses a skill to deplete the enemy's ultimate move gauge, the hero recovers 10% of diminished HP for each orb removed. It's pretty bad. It's like C or D. Like, it's pretty bad. She does have an ult gauge removal, so I guess cool beans, bro. It's basically just a CC stick and stats. Like, her passive is where Easton shines, in my opinion. She's pretty good on the OC team. You want to use her on the OC team. That's like her only use, unfortunately. I think that's like the only use for like any of the OC units except for Lilia. Like, Lilia is just an absolute monster. Both Lilias. The red Lilia is more of a support for like a Bond team or a Kyo Ignite team. Like, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. But yeah. Shins. If Shin had more CC, this would be one of the most overpowered relics in the entire game. Let me find it again. I gotta find the exact thing. Increase the hero's damage dealt by 50% when attacking debuffed enemies, and usually you'll use like Kyo or Lilia or like yeah, like you'll just use a full debuff team essentially. And if you go to Shin, especially the red one in my opinion is probably the better one, attacking an enemy with a debuff results in a critical strike. So if you have a debuff on the field, which Shin does have at a rank 2, but I mean you'll use like a Lilia AoE or like a mono AoE for using full catastrophe to get the corrosion stack, and then he guarantees crits because of debuffs, and he increases damage dealt by 50%. Like that, it hits really freaking hard. It hits hard. Like a rank 2 or 3, I think it was, hit like 600k in my video, and I have garbage gear for Shin. Like they're not maxed out at all. Like yeah, like 13. I guess it's not garbage, but it's not great. Like it's really really good. Yeah, I have all of his weapons. I guess I don't have this one, but yeah. And it looks pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a high A. High A. I don't think it's S tier, simply because if you're taking into account of Shin, he doesn't have the best of CC. Like attack crit, what was it? 52. Oh, that's Omega Rugal's CC right there. My God, I hate Omega Rugal. His CC is so abysmal, bro. But yeah, okay, there's that. Guild Thunders, I'm pretty sure it's terrible from what I remember. I haven't tested it in PvP realistically, but it's just not that. Where the hell is his name? Okay, increase the hero's crit resistance, hero's resistance, and crit defense by 4% for each orb in the hero's ultimate move gauge, and increases by an additional 20% if it is completely filled. Okay, the only good Guild Thunders are green and blue for being a backline. Red is just for haha funny Iron Wall Kabuki videos back in the day, which would have been absolutely insane if the game dropped and he had this relic. Like he would probably have been the most unkillable unit ever in the game, unless you got, you know, like, I don't know, maybe a 6/6 Diane ult, the blue one back in the day, maybe Escudor, not too sure, but he would have been a monster. But nowadays, there's a thing called Purgatory Bond, and if you have to get more ultimate gauge in order to like tank more, it's kind of backwards, don't you think? I don't. It's okay, I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen any good teams with it. I have tried it and it just doesn't work. I think I have showcased it. I want to say I have. Or if I did, I just scrapped the video because Bond just one-shot me. I feel like I have tried it. I feel like I have, but I could be wrong. Next is Halloween Gothers, or just Gothers in general. This is one of the worst relics in my opinion. Just because this is for a insane broken unit, Gother, and they gave him one of the worst relics you could possibly get. Where to go? It increases allies' basic stats by 1% every time the hero uses a buff or debuff skill, limited 10 times. Excludes PvP, deathmatch, and it has to be a debuff attack skill. Or it can't be a debuff attack skill. So Gother's AoE skill, his pumpkin bombs, doesn't work. Gother's attack seal card doesn't work. So you have to use Blue Gother's AoE to proc this, or his rank up. Only in bird, like it literally only works in like farming stages. It's horrible. It's horrible. Like it's just really really bad. I didn't know that it increases allies base stats. I thought it was just Gother's, but it's still pretty bad. You don't really need this. Like if your Gother's dying and you have the mats, I guess get it, but like no. Athena's, if the hero is hit by an enemy's skill and takes 30% or more of max HP and damage, the hero recovers HP by 40% of damage taken. It's alright. Like it's alright. It's basically only used in Guild Wars, or like Athena's a backline unit. Athena's a backline unit is actually pretty goated. I wish she had more CC. I'm pretty sure it's pretty negligible. I have her with Holy Relic. She's not 6/6 or anything, but like, what is she at? 50s? I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Pretty good rolls. None of them are maxed out. She probably caps out like what, 61, 62k. She's only 4/6. No, 3/6. You know, I mean, that's actually not too bad. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it might work as a funny backline unit, because every time a unit dies, like if you're facing a lot of the suicide team, you can just run Athena, and then they just get cucked and they lose. Iori, right? No. 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 Decreases enemies' pierce rate, crit chance, and crit damage by 2% for every ignite effect on all enemies. Excludes deathmatch. You ain't going first if you use Yagami or Yori, bro. You're facing booty players if you goes first. Because you also have to use Kyo. And Kyo doesn't have the highest CC. He has good CC. It's just not that great. Throw it in the garbage. Horrible. Okay, well, this... I mean... I'll put it down to A tier for Kyo's Holy Relic. If you don't know, it randomly applies 2 ignites to one random character in the opponent's field every single turn. So one gets 4 and the other 2 get 2 ignites. And basically you just want to kill that unit first turn. That way they just basically lose. The only downside now is that Green Molascula is around, so it's not as prevalent. And Bond teams still really just go through this. They don't really care about the ignites. Like, oh, wow, 20% damage reduction or damage down? I don't really care. I'm Bond. I'm going to kill you. But it's still really, really good. I don't think it's S tier, though. The King, Green Gother, Kyo, Zeldris combo is pretty goddamn busted, but that's really about it. Now we have Mai. If the hero is hit by an enemy skill and takes 30% or more of max HP and damage, the hero recovers HP by 40% of... That was Athena's, my bad. When the hero receives a buff, increases all allies attack by 15%. Is there a max? Or is it just infinite? Or is it only one time? Let me look at Mai, because it doesn't say. So it kind of sounds like it would be infinite, right? She's SA5, I do believe. Yes. I know it can work. I have seen it work. I've seen my work in general. I'm gonna put C because I assume it only works once. If it works more times, let me know down below. But yeah, oh my god, we're like halfway through. Okay, Rugal's, it's pretty good. Every time you get hit, you increase your pierce rate by 15%. 10% limit of 5 times. My bad. Yeah. Oh, when he's hit, so. Yeah, it's not even like his allies. Okay, so that's alright, I guess. Terry it's absolutely busted. It's the worst one in the game, in my opinion. Like, it's so broken. Terry, when using a stance kill, the hero removes all debuffs from itself and increases all stats by 20% for 2 turns. It's just really broken, in my opinion. I hate facing Terry's. He's so annoying. The fact that he removes all debuffs and Bond also removes all stat down debuffs just by moving a card, I hate it. It's so toxic. Alright, Roxy, it's just a CC stick. You increase your CC by like 3,000, I believe it is, 4,000. Slater's is alright. Let's see. I'm speedrunning some of these, by the way. If a critical strike occurs from the hero's skill use against an enemy, the hero's attack is increased by 15%, limit of 5 times. I've never faced a good Slater player, I guess. I don't have Halloween Slater either, so I can't even test that out. I only have the base Slaters, and they don't crit. So, no, it works in Red Demon. That's about it. This is base Merlin, I believe. I believe it just increases all unknown damage by 30%. Increases unknown raised allies damage dealt by 35%. I feel like with Rimuru, it would actually be pretty good. So I'm gonna put it like B. I could put it A tier, but I haven't tested it out with Rimuru. With Amelia, I mean, she already basically one-shots, but I haven't tested it with her. It's alright. I mean, if you really want to. I highly suggest if it's an S or A tier, I highly suggest getting them, by the way, but that's just me. These are the slime ones. We'll skip over those real quick. Valenti is her. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, her ultimate ever does that much damage I've seen. Like, I don't know. The max I've seen is like 200k. Type advantage with a buff. So, I don't know. Basically, if you lose an enemy on your team, you get 5 ultimate orbs instantly. So, if somebody dies and you lose one of their cards, then you would get your ultimate the next turn. It's alright. It can help. It can come in clutch. But I don't think it's crazy or anything. MK2, I believe it's if your team gets crit, you get stats. If a critical strike occurs from an enemy's attack on one of the hero's allies, the hero's attack is increased by 8%. Limit of 5 times, applies when entering battle, excludes deathmatch. I mean, MK2 does pretty good. I think it's a mid-tier relic. Like, I thought it was if you crit her, but no, it's if you crit allies from what this says. If it is just allies, then like, I mean, a lot of units get crit nowadays. Like, I always get crit by freaking Trader Melee's AoE. So, it could work, to be honest. It could work. It could definitely help, you know, do some more damage. Especially because the more attack-related stats she has, like, or the more, no, it's the more crit resistance. The more crit resistance, the more attack-related stats she has. Never mind. Take that back. Take that back. Grimoire. Grimoire seems very toxic if you use the Grace, the Tarmiel Grace on him. Where is it? Where is it? Grimoire. I haven't used Grimoire. None of mine are maxed out, by the way. Where is his goddamn name? He's gone. He's just invisible. Is he not on here? Oh my god. Oh, he's down here. He's the yellow name. Okay. Increases the hero's regeneration rate and lifesteal by 4% for each orb in the hero's ultimate move gauge, stacking up to 20%. So it's very toxic, especially if you use Green Grimoire, because, you know, you have a super strong tanky shield, and you just basically can't die. Like, I saw the Bond team before without this relic, just for like 10 minutes, and he just kept ulting, and he couldn't kill me. I think it's a funny troll relic, so I'm going to put it in B. I don't think it's like great, but it's kind of funny to use. Hauser's, it's horrible. It's horrible. Increase the hero's pierce rate, crit chance, and crit damage by 4% for each orb in the hero's ultimate move gauge, stacking up to 20%. It doesn't even double like the Gil Thunder one, because I believe the Gil Thunder one doubled, right? Yeah, it adds an additional. I just realized the Grimoire does the same thing. It only stacks up to 20%. That's horrible. That's so garbage. He needs really good stats. They gave him that. Oh my god, so bad. True Seeker Merlin decreases all enemies' max HP by the value of 100% of the hero's attack. Applies when entering battle. Excludes deathmatch. It's pretty good. Most people rock HP defense set, but it definitely helps. It can definitely work. I would put it high A, low B. It's basically usually just a stat boost, you know. That's about it. Lolly Merlin's is actually pretty good. I'd put it like A tier. I would not put it in S tier. If you have a debuff on the field, like the enemy is debuffed, you would do an extra 20% damage. It's pretty good. I kind of wish it was attack-related stats, but at the same time I don't, because then Merlin will become meta, and with the Tarmiel link, they'll be absolutely annoying facing them every single time. Facing them every once in a while, I was like, whatever, but every single time, it's like, no. Okay, we're going to save this one for last, but Simon's Holy Relic. Guess where you can think this is going? D tier. Simon's, if a critical strike occurs from the hero's skill use against an enemy, it decreases the attacked enemy's crit chance and crit damage by 100%. Yeah, Simon can't crit. Like, he has a Sever card, and he still can't crit. Like, it's horrible. Let's see, Holy Relic. Simon, where you at, bro? Right here. Decreases the... No, I'm looking at the stats, my bad. Crit chance is 38%. I thought it was like 13, but yeah, that's not that great. That's not that great. Zaratros, his only works in PvE. He's good for some... final bosses. He's really good for Belmos, so I'd put him in a C just because he only works for like those two events. But his relic basically just makes his passive work in PvP, or if you don't crit, you do an additional amount of damage. If a critical strike does not occur when the hero attacks an enemy, the hero's damage dealt increased by an equal amount of crit chance. It's all right. The best relic, my bad. This is the best relic, simply because if you get Miguel's Holy Relic, you can farm every single relic in the game without a sweat. Like, it's super easy. It's mind-numbing, but it's super easy. So, yeah. Alright, we're on to the slime relics. I don't know if these are the right pictures, by the way. I could be wrong, but let's just hop right on in. So, this is, I believe, is the new Rimmerou's Holy Relic, which, let me actually find exactly what it was. Do they not have the things for them on here? Unlucky. Let me go to the game news real quick. Demon Rimmerou. Oh, okay. He increases his pierce rate by 80%. He is a pierce-based unit. I would say it's an A tier. I would not put it in S tier. I still have yet to showcase the relic, but I have been watching it, and I mean, he does good damage and all, but I still think Lilia's, Bonds, you could probably say Motto's probably the worst out of these, I won't lie, but I think they're just absolutely goated. Like, I don't think his is better than that. Shuna's, I think it's pretty bad. Ale Staff, every time the hero uses a recovery skill, removes 1 debuff from the ally and increases pierce rate by 20% for 2 turns. This could potentially be a Gelda use, by the way, because it's basically the same thing, except she doesn't have a power strike ultimate. That's one downside. So 4-1 phase 4 is going to be very, very difficult because you don't have that extra ultimate to be power strike that could be 1 out of 6 and deal damage. But you could try it. You could try it. It might work, but it's alright in PvP. She's decent. I would put this at like a B. I don't think it's worth it. Realistically, because like just increasing pierce rate by 20% for 2 turns, and since it's a buff, you face another Rimuru, you use that buff card, you don't kill his Rimuru, you lose next turn. Because he gets max buff. He gets the 3 extra buffs by stealing your buffs. It's really annoying that that's how it went about, but that's what they did. I have to Google it actually, because I didn't know that the slime units weren't in here. Benimaru's, increase the hero's attack related stats by 20% when attacking debuffed enemies and recovers 25% of the hero's max HP. Okay. Unfortunately, I believe his debuff card is bugged on JP, so it doesn't actually apply the debuff, I believe. So that's an absolute L, so we can't really test it out like that, because he decreases defense related stats by 40, 30, and 20%. But yeah, he can definitely pop off, but I'm pretty sure he basically has to crit in order to do a lot of damage. That's what I've been told. The JP account I had didn't have him built up enough, unfortunately. I'd put it like a B, Holy Relic. Like, his Relic is actually pretty good, but the unit overall is just like, he's okay. He works. Now, Millum is absolutely insane. I think she's an absolute huge glass cannon. She got a huge buff. Every time the hero's ultimate move gauge fills by 1 orb from using, moving, or ranking up skills, increases crit chance, crit damage by 10% for 3 turns to 5 times. When the ultimate move gauge is above 5 orbs, recovers 30% of the hero's HP. That's an entire freaking paragraph. She has a crit damage link for 23%? What? That's insane. Or is it always that much? It might honestly always be that much for like an Eastern Link or something. Is it Eastern Link? It might be. I can't remember. Either way, that's really, really good. And she has a spike card where she doubles crit damage. So if you put the OG Rimuru as a link, or even Slime one, because you'll probably have that one 6 out of 6 easier than the SSR one. You could do some nutty damage. Like, you can hit really hard, and she has a detonate ultimate. Honestly, I think it's a top tier A tier relic. Unfortunately, she's just a bit of a glass cannon, but she's just a fun unit. If you go first, I highly recommend killing her, by the way, because she will destroy you. Just my opinion. And now we're going to that Rimuru. What was it again? Oh, for every 4% decrease in the hero's HP, increase attack related stats by 1% when using skills. I think it's like a C-tier relic. Like, you just kind of have to one-shot him, or you just don't attack him and you let him sit there forever, and then you just kind of finish him off at the end of the game. Either way works. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. I kind of have to wrap things up because it is 40 minutes long. My God, let me know down below if you guys have any big concerns, or if you would like me to swap any, or if I missed any. I probably have, to be honest, because there's so many goddamn relics in this game, bro. Like, you look at this shit, do you know how much pain I went through to do this? It was very, very dreadful. I believe I got everyone, but I definitely could be wrong. I want to do the unknown, or the angel ones eventually, and goddess or fairies, but I just don't have enough of them. I haven't showcased any of them really. I've seen most of the bird ones though, but yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys have an absolutely amazing day. Subscribe and take care.